Hello and welcome back to the Crystal City Witches podcast. You already know what episode it is. We missed you. We took a break last week for the holiday because it was a holiday, and even if we run a spiritual business, we still deserve days off and time to ourselves, whether we celebrate it or not. I take advantage of those days off, to be honest. So we are back with another episode, and today we are going to do more of like an end of the year rewind where we can talk about how our year went. We can talk about goals, but I want to save that for like last or maybe even like the next episode because I feel like it's really important that we spend some time reflecting on what's gone on this year. Like, this was a 9 year. Nines are all about like completion and closure, like tying up loose ends. And it's also like nines are ruled by Mars, I believe. And as we know, Mars is very like action packed. It's about war and things of that nature. So maybe this was kind of like a in your face type of year. Maybe it was more chaotic. Maybe there was more endings than you thought were going to happen. But hey, I just want to say you made it. You're at the end of the year. It's almost January now. And to kick this off, I want to ask Jax a question actually, but I really want to know like if you can describe your year in maybe 3 words. Can you do that? And also tell us an important lesson that you learned this year.
Ooh, I love it. Yeah, so welcome back everyone. Thank you for the amazing intro, Ariana. Oh wow, this year in 3 words. Um, I I definitely want to say healing. There's been a lot of things that have come up that I've had to work through and heal through. I would also say, ooh, such a good question. The other 2 words that I would use to describe this year would be beautiful. There's been a lot of beautiful things that happen, and beauty is not always shiny and pretty and happy either. There's been a lot of things that have been like tragically beautiful as well. Um, and the final word that I would use to describe this year would be growth. There's been a lot of growing that I've done. There's been a lot of like transformation that has happened in the sense of growth. Yeah, there's been a lot of things personally that I've gone through this year, that have made me grow, personally, like emotionally, spiritually, yeah, mentally, there's been a lot of growth for sure. And then I'm sorry, my brain can only hold so much information. What was your other question?
What's an important lesson that you learned?
An important lesson that I learned. Hmm. I think it's a lesson that I've kind of always I learn at a deeper level year after year after year, and that's to pause before I speak and really think about what I want to say and how I want to say it. I used to get the message as a kid, think before you speak, and as a kid, I'm like, yeah, 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 whatever. And but as I've gone through some of the things I've gone through this year, it's been a really important lesson to pause and check in with myself and think about what I want to say, what I want to do next before just right in. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a really good one that I feel like a lot of people can relate to and also learn from. Like, it is good to, because sometimes we get really eager. We want to go in head first, but sometimes we do need to just let me take a moment first. Let me think about this. And that's a really good thing. I think that's like an amazing skill to have, to an amazing skill to be able to develop, because that's not something that everyone can do, or it's not something that everyone has even the patience to do. Because like when going through that process, you have to learn patience, and being patient with self can be really difficult. It can be, because especially, you know, in the spiritual world, you hear it all the time, like in divine timing, in divine timing. And like, I'll be the first to say, like, hearing that can be so fucking annoying. But I get it. Like, it is in divine timing. But it's just like, it can be annoying to hear, but like, it's like when you finally get the thing that you wanted, or the thing that you were striving for or working towards, it's like, damn, I understand why I needed it now. Like, I can actually support the weight of what I want now, versus if I got it before, maybe I would have had it for 5 seconds, I would have dropped it, and it would have broke because I truly wasn't prepared, or I didn't take the time to think about it. So I say, like, that's really fucking amazing. Um, and I have my 3 words. It
Yeah.
took me a while, but my 3 are introspective, because I feel like this was more of like a quiet year, actually. I spent a lot more time just, I mean, every year is a very introspective year for me. I tend to spend a lot of time alone anyway, because, you know, panic disorder and all those things. So, like, but I feel like I was even more introspective without unhealthy outside influence, I will say. Another word is victorious. I did feel very victorious this year. Like, looking back at it, like in the moment, no. No, I didn't feel like that. But like looking back at them, like you really like accomplished and achieved a lot. Like you really, it's like you pushed yourself to do the things that you were scared of, but you didn't push yourself to burnout. So that's really good. And that makes me happy, to be honest. And my final word, dramatic water sip, is peaceful. But I did put slash boring. Peaceful slash boring, and I'll explain why. Peaceful because, one, this is like a year, like in the past, every year I would, like, a relationship, a friendship, whatever, it would expire. And I'm like, wow, like, am I not making good choices in friendship based on the fact that I'm always having to end a damn connection? And to a point, yeah, that was actually true. I was not making good decisions in my connections, in my friendships. Like, there was definitely work that needed to be done. It definitely needed to be more like foundational and structured. And especially because a lot of the connections that I had, like, they came from like high school and stuff, or like middle school. So it's like, you guys are bonded sometimes with those old relationships, like you guys are bonded, but you're bonded over like those memories in your youth. You're not always bonded over things actually being healthy or sustainable. So like that makes me happy, because it shows my growth, definitely. But in saying like peaceful slash boring, I had to get more comfortable with the idea of being at peace, because I'm used to chaos. I'm used to things that I shouldn't be used to be honest. Even when I went to the spa with my friend a few months ago, I was laying there by myself on the ground in the little space on the mats that they have. And I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm bored. And I was like, no, you're not bored. It's like, you're actually at peace. Like, it's quiet. Like, you're in like such a serene, happy, peaceful environment that you're not used to. So it's coming off as boring to you. Maybe you want to knock something over, so there will be some excitement in the building. But like, that's not what I need. I need to learn to adjust to more of a peaceful, boring lifestyle, and it won't feel boring to me forever, which is great for me. So I'm happy about that. And I'll say, for the most important lesson that I've learned is the importance, and this is something I already knew, but it's something like, in learning lessons, you're constantly, like, everything's constantly evolving. So mine is the importance of not holding on to what and who doesn't belong. Like, knowing when, like, connections, opportunities, whatever it may be, everything's not meant to last forever. And it's important to know, like, okay, maybe this situation, this connection, this friendship, maybe it really has run its course. Maybe it's gotten to a point where it's not even healthy for either party. And you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to be the bigger person and put it into this rather than staying where I'm semi comfortable, I would say, despite it being like chaotic. So that makes me really happy because now I know, like, when I go into friendships or connections of any kind, like, I'm going in with a more clear mindset, with a clearer head, and thinking more into like the foundation and the health of things rather than just having company or having companionship around me because, you know, we're humans, we want companionship, but sometimes the way that we go about that isn't the healthiest or the most helpful to ourselves or even to the other person because it might be completely unfair. It actually makes me think of a post I saw on Reddit like yesterday, and someone said they went on 2 dates with a guy and they're just not feeling him like that. That's fine. And they're like, would it be okay if I offered friendship because I don't have friends? And I was like, oh, no, that's actually not okay. Like, this person's probably like, communicate with them, of course, but like, this person's probably interested in you in a way that they're not, that you're not. And you already said, like, I don't have friends or anyone to talk to really, so that's why I want to keep this person around. That's not healthy, and that's not fair to the other person. Like, it's not, hopefully they didn't do that, but like, it's not, that's not fair to someone else. It's not even fair to yourself. So this year definitely taught me to be more fair to myself, especially because I have a tendency to be really overgiving to other people. So now I'm learning to be more giving and fair to myself. Yay 2025.
Yes, no, I love that for you. I think it's important to, you know, take the lessons that you've learned in the past, or learn from the mistakes that you've made in the past, and and learn from them and build on them. And new scenarios come up and new situations come up where you can build on these lessons, and continue to heal. I heard somebody say that healing is like an onion and lessons are the same. You peel back the first layer and the next layer, and onions have many, many layers, and you just kind of keep going through them as you move through life, and you kind of peel back the layers of the onion of the healing of the lessons as you move through life and move through different scenarios. And kind of like you said, it's been a 9-year of completion and cycles ending, and letting go of things that haven't worked for you, for probably a while. And maybe some people are getting that nudge to do that now, as this year is coming to a close, of starting to realize, like, what isn't working, what can I change, what can I let go. And so I think we had some journal prompts for people too. Do we want to do that now? Do we want to save it for the end?
Ooh, I think let's save it for the end. Yeah, let's save it for the end, definitely, because then I can brainstorm more questions too, more prompts and stuff. But
Yeah.
I did want to talk about, because you mentioned this before we started filming. I would love to hear about some of your end of the year rituals. And for anyone hearing the word ritual, calm down, you're safe. Rituals are just things that you continue to do those same things like over and over. That's just what a ritual is. Like, don't get scared. Hold
Yeah.
on, let me go get my candles and stuff so I can really scare you. I'm just kidding. We're out of Halloween.
Yes, another good word for it is traditions. So you can call it whatever rituals or traditions. Yeah, so I know people always do like spring cleaning, but I always get the urge to do it at the end of the year. So between like Halloween and solstice, I always get like this urge to just clean everything and like get rid of stuff, and kind of like making way to be cozy and have space in the winter, and kind of like hoard up, and just kind of cozy on up in the winter. That's something that I always find myself doing. And then another, like, winter ritual that I like to do too is, um I like to I tend to make things a lot more in the winter. So whether that's like, you know, canning vegetables or making bread or making clothes or making blankets is kind of something that I've always done during the winter time. Because I feel like the summer is very like bring it all forth and use it all. And then the winter is very much like bring it closer and take care of it, mend things and make things and store things. So those have been two really prevalent like rituals or traditions that I do. I don't know if I have any specific like religious traditions that I hold every single year. Um, any like esoteric things that I do consistently. I'm kind of just intuitive and whatever I feel like. The very air sign in me. Go with the flow, whatever I feel like.
You go where the wind takes you, and you do what you need to do when you need to do it. And I think that's really good, because I did write down, like, before I share my own rituals or traditions, I did write down, like, I want to remind people, don't be hard on yourself. Like, I do like to, like, clean. I try not to wait till the end of, like, I like to space it out through the whole month so I can get everything done. But, like, I know people are very hardcore. Like, you need to, like, do your floor washes, you need to wash the walls, you need to clean this and that. But coming from someone neurodivergent, someone that deals with, like, really serious, like, depression and anxiety, sometimes you're just not gonna have it in you, to be honest. And that's
Yeah,
okay. So, like, don't guilt yourself into, like, I have to do this. Like, if your body is telling you no and telling you to sit the hell down, babe, sit the hell down and rest. Because here, now we're going into my end of the year rituals. Because, like, it's nothing, like, specific. And it is based on, like, one, what do I have the energy for? And what am I feeling called to do? So, like, for me, it's like cooking. I don't know what it is about cooking an end of the year meal that really gets me going, but I need that end of the year meal. I need to do that. I want to sit with my benevolent ancestors. I want to cry. I want to have some wine with them and shimmy the glass like this because we're fancy with our pinkies up. That's how we do it over here. Um, I like to clean, refresh, reset, and rest. Heavy on the last R. The rest is really important because, especially, like, okay, I have this thing where I don't really believe in going out on New Year's Eve because I have this notion that I will be tired all year if I wake up on the first of the year exhausted
oh
and
yeah,
struggling. Yeah,
yeah,
that's personally how I feel. That's how I feel about my birthday too.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you set the tone the night before for how the rest of the day or the
Yeah.
years.
Exactly. And I just want to say, because people are like, oh, like, it's the new year, babe, let me tell you, you don't have to, like, plan everything for the end of the year, like, if you don't feel like it. Because I know a lot of people, like, no, you need to do these things for the astrological new year, or Chinese new year, or any of the, I think, like, Korean new year. Like, any new year is, like, but people are really big on the astrological new year in, like, March. And, like, to that, I say, why are we arguing about it? Why can't we just do both? That's what I do. I celebrate for every new year. I don't care if it's not even my new year. It's somebody's new year, and that's the energy that's out there. So I'm gonna utilize the energy that's out there. Because I've seen a lot of, like, discourse online about this, like, people going back and forth, like, no, you don't do stuff for the end of the year. It's dead of winter. I get that. I totally get that. I'm gonna still do it if I feel the energy to do it, though, or if I feel the desire to do it. Because once again, that energy is out there because so many people are celebrating that. But be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself at all times, not just at the end of the year. um, and I was also thinking, like, the people that are really hard on themselves, like, we have a full moon tomorrow, and people are like, I don't have the energy to do my full moon rituals or my new moon rituals or my quarter moon rituals or whatever. It's okay. Do you know how many new moons and full moons and all moons I've missed? You know how many times I haven't even seen the moon because I fall asleep at 5? Like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Like, your spirituality, your witchiness, however you want to address this, like, that is personal to you and to your heart and to your spirit team.
Yep.
Okay? Like, It's okay. It's not the end of the world. I don't know what person out there needs to hear that right now, but I just feel like somebody out there needed to hear that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I've missed so many full moons and quarter moons and new moons, and I'm just like, well, if I didn't feel led to do something with it, then it wasn't meant for me, and that's
Mhm.
okay. If I feel called to do something, it's obviously meant for me. But if I didn't, or I forgot, or I didn't even see the moon, then that's okay. It's all good. Like don't beat myself up. I give myself that grace because it doesn't change, my views or my practice because I missed one or didn't feel like it. It doesn't change anything. And I think that's an important lesson that, can be applied and heard by a lot of people. I agree.
I agree. I agree 1,000%. Like, just, I don't know. I think, like, individuality really takes a part when discussing like spirituality and like your own path. So like trying to mimic someone else's path or their rituals or their traditions, it's not always going to work for you because you're meant to be figuring out things for yourself. And spirituality and a spiritual path kind of just remind you you're able to do these things in an individual way. Like go talk to an Aquarius in your life or something. Go talk to them about the important, like let them tell you the importance of being an individual. Okay, like that is my advice to you.
Yeah,
I did
absolutely.
write out a few more journal prompts.
Yes. Let's get into it.
Okay. Okay. So for one, the same question that I asked Jax for the collective, you should ask yourself, like, how was your year? Like, what's an important lesson that you learned? What was your favorite moment or your happiest moment? Because I feel like we overlook those things sometimes. What made you smile the biggest, you know? Um, what can you release? What have you been holding on to all this time that you know should not be there anymore? You know it's not healthy for you. It could be like I heard like eating habits. So it could be like the way that you're eating. It could be like the people that you have around you. It could be the things that you're tolerating that you know you've outgrown and you don't want to tolerate anymore. Um, and then lastly, after releasing, what can you call in? You like, I always tell people like the importance of releasing before trying to call in a bunch of stuff because just think of like a crowded room and you're ordering furniture and all your furniture is outside but you don't have any space for it inside because there's too much. So you're going to have to release some of it so you can fit that newness into your life. So I know that can be difficult, especially when it comes to dealing with people because, emotions are involved. We all have feelings, but you do really need to prioritize your own healing, your own happiness, your own peace, because that goes into protecting your health, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your spiritual health. All of those things are linked. So you definitely just want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And if you've taken nothing from this episode, please take that. Like the importance of caring for yourself and not just at the end of the year. Like don't wait until the end of the year to be like, I'm gonna make these changes. Well, no, you can start now, babe. You could have started yesterday if you wanted. Like, you don't have to put it off and put it off and put it off. Like, I just did a collective reading on my website and like my Instagram and social media where it was discussing the collective needing to walk away from something or someone and really kind of dragging their feet because it's going to be uncomfortable and I don't want to deal with those things. You're
Yeah,
already uncomfortable. Like you're already in an uncomfortable state. Like sure,
yeah.
going through that process is going to be uncomfortable, but would you prefer to go through the fire or do you want to just stand there and get burned?
Right.
Like personally, I'm gonna walk through it. I'm gonna hurt myself walking through it, but I know like I can see the end of this because I'm actually moving forward and I'm not forcing myself to stay in a space that is unhealthy or just not good for me as a whole because I always say this, but we are meant to be our own best friends. We are meant to be like our number ones. And I feel like a lot of us need to be reminded of that. Like, love
Yeah.
yourself.
Absolutely. And you don't have to start, you don't have to start in the new year. You don't have to wait a month to get started on the things that you envision for your future and that you envision for yourself. You can start literally right now. Like, pause the video if you need to and start right now. Or you can wait until the episode is over. That's okay. Whatever works best for your
Yes.
brain. Some of us have ADD and, whatever, or we have busy lives. I get it. So if you need to pause this video and do what you need to do to take that step forward and then come back and finish the podcast, we would love that. Um, but yeah, you don't have to wait to start something. I think a lot of times people get caught in the trap of putting it off and waiting to do something until like the timing is right. The timing is never really right for a lot of things, especially if it's something that
Yeah.
you have a goal in mind. Just start whatever small steps that you can start. That's kind of like my couple of journal prompts that I wanted to bring, number one, like, what goal do you have for yourself in the new year, whether big or small? And what small step can you take towards that goal every single day? Um, what, whether that's like, so say if you have a goal of, you know, being more involved with, say, growing your own food, what's one small step that you can take? You can look at different garden planners online one day. The next day, you can do some research on soil. You don't have to go out and just buy everything and get started and, all this chaotic, crazy energy and just jumping right in. You can take small steps every single day. If you have a goal of buying a new car, what's a small step that you can take is figuring out how much money you need to put away every day. So, day one, you figure out what's your budget. Day two, you figure out like how much you need to put away. Day three, you start putting away that money. So you take those small little incremental goals and you make sure that each day you reflect on how much you accomplished that day towards your goal. And if you didn't, that's
Mhm.
okay. Take it with grace. Some days you're going to accomplish a lot and some days you're not going to accomplish a lot. And that's okay. It's, just always being being focused on the task at hand and being gracious with yourself at the same time, making sure that you're embodying both aspects. Yeah.
You said so much important stuff, and what I really love is like you saying like the importance of small actionable steps. Like you don't have to do everything at once. Which I don't know, when you were saying that, it made me think about all the people that have new hobbies and they're like, I have to buy everything now, babe. Slow it down. It's okay. Like maybe buy one thing, see how you like it, and then move forward. But like, yeah, me and my psychiatrist, we talk about this all the time, like how small actionable steps work and they really make a difference in the grand scheme of things. So like, don't be so hard on yourself if you can't get everything done at once. You're probably not meant to get everything done at once anyway. So like, that is a-okay. Like you're gonna be fine. And I feel like the main message ended up being be kinder to yourself. Be, don't be so hard on yourself. Like you're just like all of us are. We're just figuring things out one step at a time. No one knows exactly what the hell they're doing. Like even if we're sitting here and we look like we know everything, we don't. We really
Yeah.
don't. We're human and we're learning just like the rest of you. Like everyone's more experienced or knowledgeable in certain aspects of life, but there's always going to be those gray areas where I'm like, what? Like me and statistics. What the hell
Yep.
is that? I just failed my first assignment. You know how crazy that was? I literally had 6 more hours to get it in, and I was just like, I can't even understand this. I tried to go on the For Dummies website, and I
Yeah.
still couldn't understand. I was like,
Oh no. Oh no. Well, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Give yourself grace. You're not always going to be perfect at everything. You're not always going to get everything right. And, it's okay. It's totally okay. Did you do your best? Then you can be proud of yourself.
I did my best-ish. So like, I'm still proud of myself though. It shows me where what I can do better. how I can better apply myself, and like all of those things. So that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna, it's not the end of the world that I failed. I still got a passing grade. I got a C. I got a C, y'all. No, we're fine. We're fine. So we're happy over here. I guess we're at the end of the episode already. Is there anything that we need to say before we close out?
Well, there is kind of one thing that we needed to let our audience know, I think. So I'll set it up and you can tell everybody. So we have been doing this podcast for almost 30 weeks, if not right around that mark. Yeah, it's been a while. We have really, really enjoyed doing this. We have connected in the craziest way. This idea popped into our heads. We felt really divinely called to this. And just like we were talking with the 9 year, the ending of cycles and the completions, we do have a announcement to make if Ariane wants to tell everybody.
Hello, y'all. Not that I went anywhere. I've been sitting here the whole time. Yeah, so unfortunately, I am going through a lot of life changes right now. I'm not going to get into it because it has to do with someone else's health and me basically stepping back into like a caregiver role. Like, I used to be a caregiver and stuff. But it's just like the weight of maintaining like my small business, the work that I do for my friend's business, the podcast, school, and then possibly even deciding like, okay, after I'm done with this flow of school, because I'm a senior. Oh, because I'm a senior, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I want to go to grad school next too. So I've been looking into that. But I say this to say, I just kind of had to, because me and Jax talked about it a few months ago when you asked me, like, are you going to have enough time for yourself? And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to get back to you on this because I need to experience things to see how I can maintain it. And unfortunately, because I've really enjoyed this, I can't continue committing to the podcast because of, well, the other commitments I just listed, especially with school. Like, I just took out like an almost $10,000 loan, so I can't afford to fail. Like, and if I fail a class, I think I get kicked out, or I get, because I'm on probation right now because I've been gone for so long. So it's like kind of like tricky waters where I'm like, oh, I really just need to be able to like lock in. And especially with like my business and stuff, I really didn't do too much for my business this year. I kind of took the year off, especially after like my rebrand, like what was that, almost a year ago or something. So yeah, things are changing, and I don't know, I guess it's appropriate for like a 9 year. Like, I've really enjoyed the podcast. I really realize how much I love to yap. Like, your girl likes to talk.
You have me really comfortable being on camera and sharing what's in your heart and what's in your mind. I will say I have noticed that transformation in you, and I am really excited to see it.
Thank you. Yeah, because before this, I didn't really like showing my face or being online like that. And like, this has actually inspired me because I'm like, girl, you really need to do more stuff on camera for your business. And I feel like,
Yeah.
Jax, you can agree for that too. Because I'm like, yeah, Jax, you need to do more stuff for your business because I like seeing your stuff. I like seeing your post.
I know. Sometimes I just need a couple of weeks to just be in my hole and, do the things in my house that I do, like, I mean, you know, making bagels and hummus and laundry detergent and taking care of the dogs and, working my normie work and, doing rituals and things for myself before I can, like regenerate my creative juices and start posting
Yeah.
again, or time, where I feel really called to post something and actually are able to follow through. Sometimes I just need a couple of weeks, and I feel like that probably hurts me, but sometimes I just, I mean, I'll take clients at any point. I mean, even if I haven't posted in like a month or something, like, you want to work with me, great. I will so work with you, and I will put 100% in. I will literally block off times in my schedule. I will make it happen. But for like posting things, sometimes I'm just like, I just I need some time, like I need to just let let me simmer in my in my existence. You know? Yeah.
I totally get that. No,
Yeah.
that's very relatable. That's completely understandable. It be like that sometimes. And I feel like a lot of like small business owners, spiritual businesses especially, can relate to that. But yeah, I mean, I guess like this is just like the reality of being an adult. Like things change at the drop of a dime sometimes. And as much as I want to yap about this forever, I feel like we can pick it back up in our next episode.
Absolutely.
I was looking at the
I think
time.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So I think so this is not our last episode. We just kind of wanted to let everybody know that that is where we are headed, unfortunately. But it will open other beautiful doors, and it always paves way for something new to come through when you let something go. So while we are a little bit sad, we're also looking forward to the future and what other new things are going to come in. And so we can discuss more of that in our next podcast. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode, which will also probably be our last. But we love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys soon.
We'll see you in the next episode. Love you guys. Bye bye.